What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Now, get your notepads and your pencils and write these dates down: March 8th, July 26th, November 22nd. So it appears that Richard Schaefer of Golden Boy partnered with Team Canelo, Saul Canelo Alvarez himself, and they discussed these three possible dates. These are the dates that has been released or have been released today, and those are the dates Canelo is supposed to fight next year in 2014. Canelo says he wants to fight three times. The opponents are to be announced. No one's been confirmed. Obviously, they have to go, especially with a star like Canelo. He does put asses in the seats. He has a good, large fan base. Big fights like that have to be negotiated. Some people might be eager to fight Canelo after seeing how Mayweather exploited certain weaknesses that Canelo has or whatever the situation is. But that's good. It's good for the sport of boxing. Some people are complaining. The only complaint that I've really heard are these three dates are supposed to be all pay per view, from what I know. Um, and at the end of the day, boxing is a business. Canelo puts asses in the seats. He generates interest. He lost to the best pound for pound fighter in the world, Floyd Mayweather Jr., the guy that is number one on a lot of respected pound for pound lists. So, him being as young as he is, he didn't get knocked out. I mean, I don't think that's a accurate snapshot of what he can do, especially him being young. Um, my biggest gripe with Canelo from the jump was being spoon fed opponents. People like Kermit Cintron, who they were far removed from when they were fighting the Sergio Martinez's of the world and having close competitive fights. People like Carlos Baldomir, this is way beyond his days of beating Zab Judah and fighting Mayweather. I mean, so that was my thing. So since then, he's fought Austin Trout, and he's fought Mayweather as well. So that's all I can ask of him, even though he lost one fight and he won the other. So really, let me know what you guys think. Him fighting three times. He says he wants to fight Sergio Martinez. I don't know how likely that is. I don't know the working relationship between Richard Schaefer and Lou DiBella. I don't remember the last fight where those two promotional companies teamed up and made it happen. And Miguel Cotto announced recently that he's signing with Top Rank. Um, don't know how that's going to work. Bob Arum sounds like he's open to it, but they're both promotional boxing powerhouses with big egos, no pun intended, no homo. So you never know what's going to happen, especially when everything's on the cutting room floor and they're talking politics and talking business. You never know. One person like Top Rank might be like, "Oh, we want this on our network, HBO," and Golden Boy might be like, "No, this fight has to take place on Showtime pay per view." So you never really know the likelihood, and anything can happen in the sport of boxing. He says he wants to fight three times, but there's all kinds of stuff that could happen. So I'll just have to wait and see. I'm all up for it. Like I said, him losing to Floyd Mayweather, he's young. I think he can, if anything, learn from it and grow from it. And you have to be Mayweather to do exactly what Mayweather did. So I don't think anyone's just going to be able to do what Mayweather did. I mean, Mayweather is his own talent. So unless you're bringing to the table fighting exactly how he fights and all that, I don't know if you're going to have the same exact success. So, like I said, I'm all for it. I would love to see him fight Gennady Golovkin. I would love to see him fight Sergio Martinez. I would love to see him fight Miguel Cotto. Those are all dream fights for me. Um, I don't know how long he's going to stay at 154. I can see him moving up maybe after a couple fights to 160. Make that Gennady Golovkin fight. Have him fight someone like Peter Quillen if Quillen's still undefeated or whatever the situation is. A lot of great fights that can be made. More realistic fights based on the current spectrum. The Cotto, if they can get it done business wise. Sergio Martinez, if they can get it done business wise. Or the winner of Austin Trout versus Edislandi Lara. He had a close competitive fight. He had the open scoring, which was semi-controversial. I don't think the judges' scorecards were accurate at the point in which they revealed to Austin Trout's corner that he needed a knockout to win. It was a fun fight. Austin Trout was hurt in that fight, and then Canelo seemed very fatigued and let off the gas. Austin Trout did do some things good. He's a southpaw. He's a slick fighter. So if he can get past Edislandi Lara in a good fashion, I would love to see him rematch Canelo. Or if Edislandi Lara can get past Austin Trout and he looks good doing so, I would love to see that fight. You know what? Some people might chastise me for whatever reason, but as a tune-up fight, because I don't think personally, after your first loss to Mayweather, even though it's not the worst loss, like I don't think it's the end of the world type loss, but I don't think that you should go in there with someone like Miguel Cotto, who's very seasoned and just is coming off of a great performance against Delvin Rodriguez. I know that Canelo is no Rodriguez, but he's still a veteran. You still got to give him respect for that. And Sergio Martinez has proven over the years he's a pound for pound top 10 kind of guy. So I don't know if that should be your first fight after a long layoff. So some people might call me crazy for this, but I would love to see, absolutely love to see, for that first March 8th date, if he's looking for more or less a tune-up fight, see Canelo versus Alfredo Angulo. Now, I'm not saying Angulo is a beast. He's very slow, but the dude is very, very just kind of determined, and he's with Virgil Hunter right now. I would love to see it. He hits hard. He looks like he has a chin. He lost to James Kirkland, but he hurt Kirkland in every fight. Basically, most of the fights that I've seen him in, his opponents are affected by his punches. James Kirkland was hurt early in the Kirkland Angulo fight. He fought a couple comeback fights after he was in that detention. And to me, I thought Edislandi Lara would box his head off. And he knocked Edislandi Lara down twice and had a slick Cuban fighter hurt. And he made it more of a fight than I would have ever imagined. I thought Edislandi Lara was just going to be super superb to him in every category. I thought Edislandi Lara is more crafty, better footwork, speed. I thought he would tear him up, and he made it a dogfight. So I think that would be a good fight just to see how Canelo responds to that style. Mayweather is not a big welterweight, let alone fighting at a catchweight, which he didn't even make. Some people question his punching power in the higher divisions. Let's see how Canelo responds to someone who may actually hit harder than himself. Austin Trout, another fighter that doesn't have substantial power. He's not like a knockout artist. And when you measure greatness and you see great fighters like a Floyd Mayweather, you could see them fight these different styles. I've seen Mayweather go in against dangerous punchers and still do good and still look good. I've seen him fight people like Diego Corrales, who was a feared puncher at the time. I've seen him fight people with a high work rate, typically, like Robert Guerrero, who had 2 solid performances at welterweight. I've seen Mayweather fight the Ricky Hatton, someone who's very prideful. He's not going to be, he's not going to back down. He's not going to be intimidated. A guy like Ricky Hatton, and they're going to probably bull rush you. I've seen him fight that. I've seen him fight a slick southpaw like Zab Judah. So I want to see that from Canelo. I've seen Canelo fight Shane Mosley, who's just an all-around future Hall of Famer. I've seen him fight some of the withering people who had a name, Carlos Baldomir, Kermit Cintron. I've seen him fight a slick southpaw with not much power, Austin Trout. But I've seen him fight a crafty fighter. I've seen him fight Mayweather. Now I would love to see him fight somebody, again, who probably or might have more power than himself, to see how he reacts to that. See what his chin is really like against a bigger puncher. Shane Mosley has power, but again, Shane Mosley's not like a big 154-pounder. I don't recall Shane Mosley ballooning up to 170 pounds on rehydration during fight night, but I believe Alfredo Angulo did in his last fight. He gained like a lot of weight. I think he was like 171, 173, somewhere around there. So really, I would really like to see how Canelo responds to a fighter who is not necessarily fundamentally sound, but you got to watch out for their power. I just like to see the different matchups, see what that'll bring out of Canelo. Boxing-wise, Canelo is far superior than Angulo, but again, you never know. There's been a lot of activity with the punchers this year. Ruslan Provodnikov, you've seen him have his way with Mike Alvarado. So let me know what you guys think of that potential matchup and all the matchups that I mentioned. And leave a comment. As always, hate, comment, or subscribe. Till next video, it's Ego signing off.